About storage devices. Everything we're going to talk about is going to be about storage devices and the different platforms. Now let's start with the file system. What is a file system? A file system is a technique for storing data in an organized and human readable form. A file system is a very important component residing in most data storage devices like hard drives, CDs. We have Windows file system. Windows mainly supports FAT, file allocation table, and NTFS. That's the new technology file system. Let's go to Linux. Linux has a variety of file systems, as you see on the screen above. You have to remember that everything on Linux is either a file or a process, and that's one of the differences. But when we go ahead and look at Windows, Windows uses FAT and NTFS, while Linux system uses a variety of file systems. Unlike Windows, Linux is bootable on the network drive. In contrast to Windows, everything is either file or a process in Linux. Find any Windows program files or user folders if you start browsing around the file system on a Linux computer. Linux directory structure doesn't just use different names for folders, it uses the entire different layout. For example, on a Windows, applications might store its files on C program files, which is not the case on Linux. You go to case sensitivity. Linux is case sensitive, while Windows isn't, like the examples you've seen above on the screen. You can have two files named file and another one file on Linux, so long as they are different cases, which isn't the case for Windows. So treats capitalized letters and lowercase letters as different characters. For various reasons, I think I prefer Linux file system. Number one is open source. Linux is an open source product, so you don't need to pay a lot of money for it. The other thing is security. Linux is more secure in comparison to Windows operating system or any other operating system. You can revive old computers and use them on Linux. Linux doesn't take a lot of processing power. You can use any old computers and use Linux. Linux has so many distributions, and we call these bistros. You can use Linux Mint, Linux Fedora, you can use Mint, Ubuntu, you can use Debian, and every distribution or bistro, it has different capabilities, especially with regards to vulnerabilities. So that's why I prefer Linux over any other platform for file system. The difference between HDFS or Hadoop and Corbyte, I think it's mainly latency. When you look at Corbyte, it deals with small files and maximum throughput for large files and can serve Hadoop. But Hadoop mainly deals with large files, which it executes still at a very low time frame, but has high latency. As a Christian, I uphold myself to greater values of excellence, integrity. So even as decisions are being made, I will consider data integrity, privacy, and cost effectiveness, because all businesses are there to make money. It's imperative for me to uphold myself to such values. Thank you very much for listening to me and giving me an opportunity to teach you a few things here, and hope to see you again next time. God bless you.